This week on the Brody File, the battle for faith and freedom is on as conservatives bring their fight to the nation's capital.
I don't want to change our platform. We need to be the pro-life party, the pro-traditional marriage party.
We're sitting down with heavy hitters from this year's Faith and Freedom Conference, including an exclusive interview with new House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy.
I want to restructure government itself. These agencies have become too large. They need to be streamlined.
This special edition of the Brody File is on across America. Welcome to the Brody File. I'm Jennifer Wishon in for David Brody. The battle for the White House in 2016, it's already taking shape. Recently, potential frontrunners for the GOP met here in Washington to discuss faith and politics at the Faith and Freedom Coalition's Road to the Majority. David Brody was there and brings us this report.
One by one, they came to this stage, weaving a message of faith and freedom. Some of them were possible presidential candidates, like New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, but others, like the new majority leader of the House of Representatives, Kevin McCarthy, well, he came here preaching a message of conservative unity, despite the disputes over the direction of the party between the Tea Party and establishment conservatives. Backstage in our exclusive interview, McCarthy played up the harmony theme.
First and foremost, I want to make sure that we're united, but we want to change the country. We want to change the direction. I want to restructure government itself. These agencies have become too large. They need to be streamlined. There's too much duplication in it as well. We want to unshackle what has held us back for so long.
McCarthy and GOP leadership in both the House and Senate will also have to confront a divide on what to do in Iraq. Some lawmakers, like Florida Senator Marco Rubio, feel like decisive military action needs to be taken. Other Republicans aren't so sure they want to get involved in this fight. Rubio told us that's a mistake.
They're wrong. We're going to have to deal with ISIS. And I think the choice for us is not whether we're going to have to deal with them. The choice is, do we deal with them now while they're still kind of scattered, or do we deal with them in 10 years or 5 years when they control a piece of land, they have their own country, and they use it to plan and carry out attacks to kill Americans here and around the world?
Rubio will surely play up his hawkish views if he runs for president. As for Kentucky Senator Rand Paul, he's also thinking about running for president. He came here touting his pro-life credentials, complete with a video before his introduction. He's a bit on the defensive after he recently said how Republicans might need to agree to disagree on social issues.
I don't want to change our platform. We need to be the pro-life party, the pro-traditional marriage party. But can we accept some people who don't agree with us on those issues in the party? I think if we are not so strident to push people away, maybe having some people in the party who don't all agree with us, maybe we'll have a chance to persuade them, and we'll be a bigger party.
One item all these speakers agree upon is that religious liberty is under attack, whether through Obamacare here at home or abroad, where Christians are being persecuted for their faith. This crowd also agrees that they don't want to see a Hillary Clinton presidency. Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann told us that would be a nightmare.
She will be Barack Obama's third and fourth term of fundamentally transforming the United States of America away from the constitutional principles that the founders bled and died to give us.
It is those founders' principles that the 1,000 plus people in this room are fighting for. The goal for them now is to mobilize other voters of faith to make a difference at the ballot box. The polling shows that when evangelical Christians show up, they can make the difference.
Thanks, David. You heard a little from four-term Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann in David's story. Bachmann put her stamp on Washington when she ran for the GOP nomination in 2012. The Tea Party favorite is not seeking re-election and wrapping up her final term, but she has a message for the policymakers she's leaving behind. You haven't seen the last of Michelle Bachmann.
When I came into Congress, my view is that this isn't dress rehearsal. This is the main event. And I didn't come here to make this a career. I came here because I knew what real people thought at home, and I wanted to fight as much as I could. I grew up with 3 brothers and no sisters. It was the best preparation for politics I could have ever had. So I put brass knuckles on when I came here, and I decided I was going to fight, and I was going to fight back, and that's what I did. It's a distinct privilege to serve in the United States Congress, but there are a lot of things that a person can't do. They're restricted in Congress, and so what I intend to do is stay with my voice on the national stage. I intend to remain in the media. I'll be doing speaking across the country. I'll be writing, probably another book will be coming out, and maybe teaching as well. So I've got a big plate, a lot of things that I want to do, but I'm in a good place in life. Our 5 biological children are grown and gone. Our oldest one just got married last weekend. So I'm at a great place where the Lord has given me all these opportunities through my life, and now I can go and put them to work.
Thank you, Michelle Bachmann, for your service. Well, another woman who knows a lot about balancing it all is Congresswoman Cathy McMorris Rodgers. She's a mother of 3 and one of the most powerful members of Congress. No big deal, right? David Brody tells us how she keeps it all together.
I love you, babe.
This is Cathy McMorris Rodgers at home in Washington, D.C. And this is Cathy McMorris Rodgers in Spokane, Washington.
Oh my goodness, you got a candy.
It's a tale of 2 Washingtons. In Washington, D.C., she's the powerful chairwoman of the House Republican Conference, charged with effectively communicating the GOP message and giving the GOP State of the Union address.
What an honor it is for me to be with you after the President's State of the Union.
If Cathy McMorris Rodgers had to choose between these 2 Washingtons, there is no doubt she would choose right here in Spokane. It's in eastern Washington. It's very rural, very conservative, and exactly where she got her humble roots. As a woman with an influential megaphone, she's pushing back on the Democrats' charge that the GOP isn't on board with equal pay for women. She points to how Republicans have a long history of support in this area.
I really see the Democrats wanting to politicize this issue.
Democrats say women earn just 77 cents to every dollar a man makes. McMorris Rodgers says their math is wrong.
It doesn't take into consideration the choices that women make and the education and the job fields that women enter.
Cole, her first child, was born with Down syndrome.
It's very difficult news to receive because you don't expect that to happen to you.
But McMorris Rodgers is a glass half full type of person.
He's exceeding all expectations. In fact, I've told myself, don't put any limits on Cole.
Cole is one of 3 children for McMorris Rodgers and her husband Brian. They met 7 years ago. And now Brian, a retired Navy commander, stays home with the kids while the Congresswoman heads off to work.
I have an opportunity to do things that few men have the opportunity to do. I'm thoroughly enjoying supporting my wife as she moves forward with her congressional career.
And that congressional career is now also one for the history books. McMorris Rodgers is the first woman in Congress to ever give birth 3 times while in office.
Oh boy. My juggling act, I don't think is that different from millions of other working moms in this country. And some days it goes better than other days. Some days I think, okay, yeah, we have this figured out, and then other days it feels like it's all falling apart.
But for Cathy McMorris Rodgers, all of this is not about power and clout. For her, it's about her faith in God that led her to where she's today.
I've recognized that God's will is it's not the destination, and it's not a title, it's not a position. God's will is day in and day out being the person that He wants you to be.
We pray these things in your name. Amen.
Amen. That was David Brody reporting. Thanks, David. Coming up on the Brody File, women on the front lines. We'll take a look at the gals serving in our nation's military and their new roles in combat. Stay tuned for that story and more on this special women's edition of the Brody File.
Pat Boone here with a word about bank safety. Do you think your money is safe in the bank? Don't bank on it. A generation ago, bank accounts felt secure and they paid interest. This encouraged the virtue of thrift and saving. But today, bank accounts pay virtually nothing, and they've shifted from low risk to high risk. For example, Did you know your money deposited in most U.S. banks could be subject to limited withdrawal and even confiscation? Oh yes, and that's just the first of 19 risks explained in a new white paper entitled Don't Bank on It. You still think your bank deposits are safe? You better get this vital new Don't Bank on It white paper now. Call the number on the screen or visit SwissAmerica.com, the gold standard. Learn how simple it is to become your own banker today.
Millions of Americans with an ostomy live their lives to the fullest every day. And over the last 10 years, thousands have chosen Liberator Medical as their caring and reliable resource for ostomy supplies. Liberator Medical is a nationally accredited Medicare, Medicaid, and insurance provider, so we can handle all your Medicare, Medicaid, and insurance paperwork and billing. And Liberator Medical has been chosen as a preferred supplier by all the leading ostomy manufacturers, including Coloplast, Hollister, Convatec, and Generics. We supply all these leading ostomy brands so you can always get the ostomy supplies and accessories you want and trust. And all of our ostomy care specialists are product certified by the manufacturers. Shipping is free and discreetly delivered right to your door. Unhappy with your present ostomy supplier? Call Liberator Medical and ask about our free ostomy sampling program. We also offer catheters and urological supplies.
Call 1-800-513-3076. That's 1-800-513-3076.
Welcome back to the Brody File. We're moving from the boardroom to the battlefield, where women make up roughly 15% of our nation's military. Until recently, those positions did not include combat roles, but in 2 years, the U.S. military will open some 33,000 combat positions to women. And as Caitlin Burke reports, some ladies are already stepping up to meet the opportunity.
At Fort Bragg, North Carolina, First Lieutenant Kelly Requa is making history.
I think it's a good job.
At her base, Requa is among the first female platoon leaders.
We're a unit that likes to pride ourselves on embracing diversity. There was no discussion really at all. Once you got there, the discussion stopped.
Ahead of the January 2016 deadline for all combat jobs to be open to women, scientists are studying the physical demands of being on the front lines, measuring strength, endurance, power, set benchmarks regardless of gender.
We want the best talent that we can possibly get, and these are exactly the same standards that we expect soldiers in basic training and in units to perform to each and every day.
Requa welcomes the challenge. She says that even though the guys in her platoon are stronger, in physical training, she can keep up no problem.
Anybody can be a platoon leader, anybody can be a crew member as long as you can do the job.
For now, she's the only woman in her platoon, but later this spring, women will begin serving as crew members. Their job? Actually position the 4,000-pound cannons, zero in on the targets, and fire the rounds. For men, the integration of women into combat roles means a new focus on respect, team building, and sexual assault prevention. So far, Requa says there haven't been any problems. And more often than not, it seems the men in her platoon forget she's the only woman on the field.
Caitlin Burke, thanks. You know, American women won't be the only ones serving in combat roles. Women have served on the front lines in Israel since 2000. And before that, women served briefly during the Israeli War of Independence in 1948. Today, women make up 34% of Israeli soldiers and 3% of combat soldiers. Several years ago, we spoke with an Israeli army medic serving on the front lines of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict.
I think that it doesn't matter if you're an Israeli or Palestinian or if you're a Jew or an Arab. It matters that you're a human being and you need help. And we don't look what kind of person is that or where he lives or what he's doing. We took also terrorists.
Here at home, long before the recent scandal at the Department of Veterans Affairs, the agency already had a rocky relationship with female vets. A recent survey by the American Legion found female vets don't use the services they've earned, many of them because they either don't identify themselves as veterans or know what benefits they're eligible to receive. It also found women's veterans don't receive the results of their mammograms in a timely manner, and that many VA facilities don't offer inpatient mental health programs for women. Still, the VA has made improvements. A similar survey 3 years ago found many female vets didn't feel safe at VA facilities for simple concerns such as privacy. As it turns out, closing the door during an exam goes a long way. Coming up next, we'll have more on women's health. This lady made headlines when her story was turned into a major motion picture. We sit down with soul surfer Bethany Hamilton and hear her advice for young girls. More from this special women's edition of the Brody File next.
Attention sleep apnea patients. Are you tired of the expense and hassle of getting your CPAP and BiPAP supplies? Are you fed up with dealing with ill-fitting, leaking, or worn-out masks and straps? Are you worried about the effects that unsanitary tubes, cushions, and filters have on your health? If you said yes to any of these questions, Allied Medical Supply Network has the solution to your problems. You could qualify to have your supplies regularly delivered right to your door at little or no cost to you. That's right, no more inconvenience, no worn-out masks and straps, no more unsanitary equipment, just restful sleep. Call Allied Medical Supply Network today to determine if you may qualify to receive your fresh, brand-name supplies at little or no cost. Don't delay. Call us now to see if you are eligible to save money on regular delivery of your CPAP and BiPAP supplies. Call 1-800-815-9947. That's 1-800-815-9947. Or go to cpapsupplyhelpline.com.
Soul surfer Bethany Hamilton's story of faith and overcoming made headlines when she was attacked by a shark at the age of 13. Now a young woman, Bethany is still making waves with a new book designed to foster both the physical and spiritual health of girls. Making her Brody File debut, here's reporter Angela Zatopek.
Pro surfer Bethany Hamilton has inspired millions with her story of faith and determination after losing her arm in a 2003 shark attack. Now she hopes to reach a new audience in her book called Body and Soul, a girl's guide to a fit, fun, and fabulous life.
My heart behind Body and Soul was really to encourage teenage girls, and now that I think about it, girls my age and women of all, to just make healthier choices in their daily life.
Bethany Hamilton is on a mission, traveling the country, including here in New York City. Her goal is to help inspire young girls to be healthy on the inside as well as the outside.
You kind of look at the health of our country and there's like huge obesity rates and disease rates, and girls that are having eating disorders, they think they have to look like this girl or that girl, and I wanted to be able to shed some light in that area.
As a pro athlete, Hamilton's advice for developing a healthy lifestyle begins with an organic diet. In her book, she talks about how to portion your food like a pro and the importance of natural foods, including the smoothies she blends up every morning.
I love being able to make my own green shake in the morning. I'll start with putting spinach in it and like maybe some mango or banana.
Her book includes workouts developed especially for young girls. Bethany and I hit the gym as she showed me some of the exercises she explains in her book, ranging from lunges to what she calls the duck walk. Most of her exercises can be done anywhere, and they're also fun to do with friends.
So this one just gets like a really deep stretch. So after doing lunges, it's really essential to stretch your hamstring and make sure you're not getting super tight. I don't think we're called to sit and be on like our iPhones or computer all day long. I think we're supposed to get out and about and stay active.
Getting away from those electronics will help you in another area that Hamilton believes is key to your growth, nourishing your spirit and the relationships God brings into your life. Throughout the book, she lists Bible verses for young girls to remember as they develop and grow.
I think it's really important for girls to find that time throughout their day to like just dig into God's word and just know his truth.
As Bethany continues to spread her message of faith, Body and Soul focuses on becoming your best you through physical and spiritual balance.
Thanks, Angela, and welcome to the team. Coming up on the Brody File, it's possibly the second most powerful job in the world. We're talking about the First Lady and examining the influence they have on American culture. Stay with us.
announcing an important breakthrough in healthcare that can benefit everyone. If you or anyone you love needs affordable health insurance, regardless of a pre-existing medical condition, call Quick Insurance 123 today and get the immediate relief you deserve. Quick Insurance 123 was created to provide affordable health insurance to all uninsured Americans, with or without pre-existing conditions. This is not a discount card. This is a real insurance program that lets you choose from many affordable health plans, with access to doctors, hospitals, emergency services, and more. So call the number on your screen now and get the health coverage you need, just for calling. As a special bonus, we'll send you a free prescription savings card that could save you up to 85% on your prescriptions. That's right, you could save up to 85% on your prescriptions just for calling. Call Quick Insurance 123 to find out how you can get affordable health insurance and receive your free prescription savings card just for calling. Don't wait. Getting a free quote is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Call today.
Welcome back to the Brody File. Pat Nixon said being First Lady is the hardest unpaid job in the world. That may be true, but America's First Ladies also have the amazing ability to bring social and cultural change. The Brody File's Amber Strong explores our First Lady's effect on pop culture in a segment we like to call Pop-Litical.
This week on Pop-Litical, we're talking powerful women, and what better place than the White House, home to one of the most influential offices in the nation, the First Lady. You know, the First Lady has the task of walking the line between ambassador and pop culture icon. So on today's Pop-Litical, we take a look back at our First Lady's influence on pop culture. Starting with Eleanor Roosevelt. Why? Well, no First Lady served as long as Eleanor Roosevelt, 12 years. Not to mention, after her husband took office, she continued her work as a paid writer, even contributing to Ladies' Home Journal. Then there's Frances Cleveland. This FLOTUS was so popular in her day when two Washington reporters fabricated a story that she'd stop wearing bustles. Guess what? Women across the country stopped wearing bustles, ultimately bringing an end to the popular fashion. Fast forward to 1961. Jackie Kennedy, in the array of Coco Chanel suits and pillbox hats, has a pretty obvious influence on pop culture. But did you know that she was a great lover of the arts? She even negotiated having the Mona Lisa brought to the White House from France. And then there's Betty Ford, co-founder of the now famous Betty Ford Clinic. The clinic was dedicated in 1982 by Ford, who struggled with alcohol and prescription abuse herself. It has become a Hollywood staple and a place for countless celebrities seeking recovery. What you may not know about Ford is that she was very open about mental health issues as well. And she was the first Lady to appear on a national television sitcom when she made a cameo on The Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Hello, Mary. This is Betty Ford. Hi, Betty. This is Mary, Queen of Scots.
If someone offers you drugs, instead of saying something you really don't mean, just say no.
Just say no, a popular phrase for any 80s baby like myself. Just say no became a slogan of sorts for the Reagan administration. This push for drug awareness was championed by former First Lady Nancy Reagan. It spread quickly throughout pop culture.
Go ahead, girls. Take your pick. Are these drugs? Just some grass, a few uppers, and a little nose candy.
She even went on to partner with the motion picture industry to bring anti-drug messages before popular films.
See this cute little vial here? It's crack, rock cocaine, the most addictive form. You think it's the glamour drug of the 80s? Well, that's the point of this friendly little reminder.
Eventually, the movement paved the way for her husband's national crusade for a drug-free America. Finally, we come to our current FLOTUS, Michelle Obama. Mrs. Obama has been credited with creating many initiatives, including Let's Move.
Let's move.
A program aimed at getting kids up off the couch and into fitness. In true Lady Obama fashion, she even brought along a few celebrities to help.
Thanks for being here today. We're having a focus group for Let's Move. I've got my friend Will. He's going to ask some questions too.
Let's get this going. I don't have a lot of time.
Recently, Mrs. Obama traveled to China to address the issue of educational opportunities for young people. She also took over the president's weekly address to the nation to promote the Bring Back Our Girls movement, and tweeted this picture to her more than 5 million followers. By the way, according to a poll, for the last 32 years, Eleanor Roosevelt has been voted as America's best First Lady. So, we're popping the question back to you. Who has had the greatest influence on American culture? Tweet me your answers at Amber C. Strong. That's it for this week's Political. Jenny, back to you.
Thanks, Amber. You know, reporters should never fabricate stories, but I have to say, I'm pretty glad the bustle got the boot. Well, up next is a little segment I like to pull out only when David Brody is away. The Bless Your Heart moment of the week is dead serious. Next.
Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? Hi, I'm George Foreman. People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can provide patent referrals and submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
For your free inventors information, call 1-800-461-9290. That's 1-800-461-9290.
If you had a choice between going bald and a full head of hair, which would you choose? Advances in medical science have resulted in the world's first and only permanent solution to hair loss.
Yes!
You wash it, you cut it. It's your own real, naturally growing hair. When it comes to hair restoration, no one in the world has more experience than Bosley. The results look completely natural and are affordable on nearly any budget. But the entire process can't be explained in 60 brief seconds. So to find out more about this clinically proven and permanent solution to hair loss, call now to receive your free no-obligation information kit. It'll answer all of your questions about hair loss and hair restoration. Plus, we'll also send you this $250 gift certificate just for calling. Every day you wait, you're losing more hair. So don't put it off any longer. You owe it to yourself to find out the facts. Choose hair. Choose Bosley.
Call 800-868-9957. That's 800-868-9957.
Welcome back to the Brody File. We've come to the part of the show where David typically reveals the oy vey moment of the week. Well, I'm from the South, where when we see something unbelievable or bizarre, we say, bless your heart. So get this, Chuck Lamb woke up one day and realized he didn't need talent to play dead. Thank goodness. So the IT worker quit his job, had his wife make up fake blood and take pictures of him playing dead. Before he knew it, the Daily Mirror reports the 56-year-old was in business, making up to $1,500 a day playing the dead guy on TV and movies. Chuck says he knew he'd never get cast as a heartthrob, so he's using what God gave him: bags under his eyes, pale skin, and a bald head. Chuck Lamb, bless your pretend cold dead heart. It takes all kinds, right? Well, that's it for this special edition, women's edition of the Brody File. Don't forget to check out David and me on Facebook and Twitter. I hope you have a fantastic week, and until next time, God bless.